You ever walk into a room, see a woman, and instantly, without her saying a single word, you feel something shift? Yeah, that wasn't magic, that was strategy. And here's the kicker. Most women have no idea they're doing it. Today I'm giving you the playbook. 8 things men notice first in a woman that instantly trigger attraction. It's not your looks, it's not your outfit, it's not even what you say. But once you know them, you can turn first impressions into unforgettable ones. Because the truth is, attraction isn't something that just happens. It's created. And most people only ever operate at surface level. Be pretty, be nice, be available. No, high-value men are watching something completely different. Subtle cues, emotional signals. And if you know what they're tuning into, you can own the room without ever chasing. Confidence in body language is the first thing men notice before a single word is spoken. It's not about arrogance or walking around like you own the world. It's about how comfortable you are in your own skin. The way you stand, the way you walk into a room, the pace at which you move, all of it speaks volumes. Men subconsciously pick up on this because it signals something ancient, self-worth and emotional stability. When a woman moves with intention, no frantic gestures, no slouching, no fidgeting, it shows that she's not waiting for someone else to give her permission to take up space. That's powerful. Imagine a woman walking into a cafe. She doesn't need to wear anything flashy. Her shoulders are relaxed but upright. Her gaze is level and her movement is unhurried. She's not buried in her phone. She's aware of her environment, tuned in, present. That's confidence in motion, and men feel it. Even if she doesn't say a word, her presence says, "I'm enough." That hits deeper than perfect hair or makeup ever could. Then there's the micro body language, where her eyes go, whether she looks at people directly or avoids eye contact. If she smiles with her mouth but not her eyes, people feel it. But when there's congruence, when her eyes, posture and smile all align, it creates a sense of emotional authenticity that draws people in, especially men. And no, confidence doesn't mean being loud or taking over every conversation. In fact, sometimes the most magnetic woman in the room is the one who speaks last, but with certainty, with warmth, with zero need to prove anything. Men notice when a woman has that inner calm. It's a kind of quiet command that says, "I like who I am. I don't need to audition for anyone." That's the kind of confidence that turns heads, not just once, but over and over again. A woman's smile is one of the first things men notice, and it's not just about having perfect teeth or a pretty face. It's about the energy behind the smile, what it communicates emotionally. A genuine smile is disarming. It lowers defenses. It makes a man feel seen, welcomed, and safe to approach. In a world where most people are guarded or trying too hard to impress, a real easy smile feels like a breath of fresh air. It signals openness without neediness, warmth without pressure. And men are drawn to that instantly, even if they don't consciously realize why. There's a huge difference between a social smile and an authentic one. A social smile is polite, automatic, used to blend in. But the kind of smile that captivates a man is the one that happens when a woman's eyes light up, when her whole face softens and reacts to the moment she's in. That's what catches a man off guard. It's not forced, it's reactive, alive and real, and it's magnetic. Men notice when a woman smiles with presence, when she's not just smiling to please, but because she's genuinely enjoying herself. Maybe she's laughing at something unexpected or smiling to herself at a thought that brings her joy. That kind of authenticity is attractive because it suggests she doesn't need external validation to feel good. She brings the joy with her. A woman who smiles like she's in on a secret, who isn't afraid to let joy come through her face, tells a man that she's emotionally accessible, not desperate, not overeager, just open. That subtle difference changes everything. Because in that one small gesture she shows him, "I'm not trying to win you over. I'm already good, but I'm happy to share this energy with someone who notices it." That's the kind of moment that sticks with a man long after she's left the room. The eyes. are where connection begins, often before a single word is exchanged. When a man notices a woman for the first time, it's usually her eyes that hold his attention, not just because of their color or shape, but because of the emotion they carry. Eyes reveal presence. They show whether someone is distracted or truly engaged. And when a woman makes eye contact, real, intentional eye contact, it hits differently. It creates a spark, a moment of silent communication that says, "I see you." That's powerful, and that moment can shift the entire dynamic between two people. What men notice isn't just whether a woman looks at them, but how she does it. Is her gaze fleeting and nervous, or does she hold it for a beat longer, with calm confidence and just a hint of mystery? That subtle difference speaks volumes. It doesn't need to be seductive or dramatic. Even a soft glance that lingers, paired with a slight smile or relaxed expression, can make a man feel an electric pull. Not because he's being evaluated, but because he feels acknowledged. He feels invited into a moment without any words at all. There's also something about curiosity in a woman's eyes that draws a man in. When a woman looks at someone like she's genuinely interested, not because she wants something from them, but because she's present, it creates emotional space. That kind of connection is rare, and it's unforgettable. Most people are so preoccupied with how they come across that they forget to actually see the other person. But when a woman's eyes say, "I'm here and I'm curious," it makes a man want to lean in. On the flip side, a lack of eye contact or overly guarded glances can send the opposite message: closed off, uncertain, or uninterested. But when eye contact is confident, warm, and present, it creates a moment that feels personal, even in a crowded room. A woman's voice is one of the most underrated tools of attraction, and men notice it more than you'd think. Not necessarily the pitch or how loud she speaks, but the tone, the emotional texture behind her words. A calm, grounded voice signals confidence. A playful one shows charm and curiosity. The voice carries an energy that men instinctively tune into. Often before processing the actual words being said, it tells them if she's secure, anxious, inviting, or indifferent. That emotional frequency is what lingers long after the conversation ends. When a woman speaks with intention, not rushing to fill silence, not apologizing through her tone, it signals presence. It tells a man she's not performing, she's just being. That relaxed vocal rhythm is rare, and men notice it immediately. They can tell when a woman is comfortable with herself by the way she speaks, how she holds pauses, how she chooses her words, and even how she reacts when there's a lull. A woman who doesn't panic in silence, but uses it to let her words land, that's magnetic. Tone also reveals authenticity. A woman who speaks with gentle conviction, who doesn't raise her voice to be heard or lower it to shrink, communicates emotional maturity. Men are drawn to women whose voices reflect emotional balance. A woman who laughs easily, teases lightly, or speaks with quiet certainty doesn't need to prove anything. Her tone says it all. It draws a man in because it creates safety, warmth, and intrigue without trying to impress. Somebody who is prepared, without looking to impress. Even small things, like the way she says hello, can make an impression. A flat, disengaged greeting gets overlooked. But a woman who infuses even a casual hi with a bit of life, a shift in tone, a spark of playfulness, she stands out. It's not about being dramatic. It's about being emotionally present in her voice, in every word she shares. And by the way, if you want to actually learn how to build real, lasting attraction, not just get his attention, but keep it, stay with me till the end. Because 7 and 8, game changers, and most women never master them. Style is one of the first external cues men notice, but not in the way most people assume. It's not about wearing designer clothes or having the latest trend on display. What catches a man's attention is when a woman's style feels intentional. It tells a story. It reflects who she is without her having to explain it. A woman who understands her personal style, who dresses in a way that highlights her confidence, personality, and energy. Signals that she knows herself. And that self-awareness is instantly attractive. It's not even about being dressed up. A woman in jeans and a t-shirt can be just as captivating as someone in heels and a dress if what she's wearing feels like her. Men notice when a woman looks like she took time, not to impress others, but to express herself. Maybe it's the way she pairs her clothes, the subtle details like accessories, the way she wears her hair, or the ease with which she moves in what she's chosen. Style isn't just visual, it's emotional. It speaks before she does. There's also a certain magnetism to a woman who looks comfortable in what she's wearing. That ease translates directly into the way she carries herself. Nothing is more noticeable than someone constantly adjusting their outfit, tugging at sleeves or hiding behind their clothes. But when a woman wears something that feels right for her body, her energy shifts. She walks differently. She communicates without a word that she's in control of her space. Men don't always consciously know what they're seeing, but they feel it. They're drawn to a woman who looks like she didn't just get dressed. She owns what she's wearing. It tells them she's thoughtful, expressive, and confident in her own skin. That sense of self, reflected through her style, becomes part of her presence long before she says a word. Energy and presence are the invisible forces that shape a first impression more powerfully than anything physical. Men often can't describe it, but they feel it immediately. A woman's energy is the emotional atmosphere she carries with her. The tone she sets just by being in a space. It's in the way she enters a room, the way she responds to her environment, how she interacts with silence, and how she holds herself when she's not performing for anyone. Presence is about being fully in the moment, not preoccupied or distracted. And when a woman is present, her energy becomes magnetic. Some women walk into a room and seem to fade into the background, not because they lack beauty or charm, but because their energy is closed off. They're guarded, on edge, or trying too hard to manage how they're perceived. But then there's the woman who walks in with calm, grounded confidence, not needing to be seen, but impossible to miss. She's not rushing to speak, not hustling to prove anything. Her energy is relaxed, intentional, and alive. That stillness, that centeredness, draws people in. Men pick up on it without even knowing what's happening. It's also in how she responds emotionally. Does she laugh with ease? Does she listen like she's actually hearing you, not just waiting for her turn to speak? Does she allow pauses or feel the need to fill every gap with noise? Presence is rare. Most people are in their heads, thinking about what to say next or how they're being judged. But when a woman shows up with real attention, it makes everything she says or does more impactful. That kind of energy is contagious. Men feel more grounded around it. They become more curious, more open, more engaged. Not because of anything flashy, but because presence cuts through noise. It creates a subtle but unforgettable tension between effortlessness and intention, something that can't be faked. The way a woman treats others is one of the most telling things men notice. Often within moments of interaction, it goes far beyond how she treats him directly.